Our three-tiered countdown enters its final layer this morning as I announce the nominees for the 2023 Trekzone Fan Film Awards. From April 16, 2022 to May 15, 2023, all eligible fan films have been automatically entered into consideration for the joint mentioning Trekkie Mentions and Trekzone Gala event, live and free on Trekzone TV. And today I announce those who made the shortlists of nomination. These awards are a culmination of over 300 pre-production hours across the past 13 months. They are a celebration of fan films done right, and they are painstakingly and lovingly put together by just two people. Without further ado, let's roll the opener and get into nominating.
Beaming live around the world on Trekzone TV, it's the 2023 Trekzone Fan Film Award nominations announcement with Matt Miller.
Trekzone has been beaming around the world for 20 years on July 10, and we're celebrating by bringing you live editions of every show from Fan Film Update to Talkin' Science. Guests will join us live as we celebrate Trekzone's incredible 2 decades on the air, which all begins at 7:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time with the 2023 Trekzone Fan Film Awards. With 59 eligible films and over 112 nominations, it's the premier event for the Star Trek fan film community to celebrate their incredible work over the past 13 months. We'll then host an after party with the winners and runners-up in a special edition of a Trekzone Conversation, followed by Fan Film Update and Sci-Fi News before we dive into science and space with Talkin' Science. I'll also bring you an in-depth interview with the latest science newsmaker, just as I've been doing every week. The only difference is everything will be live and crammed into that Monday morning. Larry Nemechek will then beam in for a second live edition of a Trekzone Conversation to round out our gala event. We'll dive into Strange New Worlds, which begins its second season next week. I've been incredibly humbled to receive the email from Paramount Plus once again with 6 episodes worth of screeners. There's so much good stuff that I can't tell you about just yet, but looking forward to being able to share all that I know about Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2 starting next week when Episode 1 releases. Don't miss a moment. RSVP to our Celebrating 20 Years of Trekzone Facebook event. It's in a short link. It's the trek.zone/20 years, 20 years. But right now, let's get into the nominees for this year's Trekzone Fan Film Awards. A quick reminder of our categories before we get there. Best Hero Ship, Best Gag Reel, Best Villain, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, the first gender split, if you will, of our categories this year to recognise more people. We also have Best Editor, Best Visual Effects, Best Music, Best Story, Best Makeup, Best Costume, Best Reimagined Character. A couple of new categories there as well. Best Production House, that's changed from Fan Film Studio of the Year to be Best Production House now. Best Producers, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Short Fan Film and Best Fan Film. Mentioning Trekkie Mentions and I were discussing the sheer volume of eligible fan films this year, and it really came to our attention that there were so many that we should award those under 10 minutes and those over 10 minutes in separate categories so that they all have a chance of taking home that very special Crystal Trophy, excuse me. Let's run these nominees in broadcast order, the order that you'll see on July 10, which means our first cab off the rank is Best Hero Ship. Let's get this started. Our first nominee for this year's awards is the USS Indianapolis. From Chaos of the Neutral Zone, Samuel Cockings. USS Uderon, next in line, Uderon Infinity. USS Caliborn, Reciprocity, Potemkin Pictures. Got to fix my data sheet there. USS Constitution, Starfleet Legends, Act 2, Smoking Gun Films. Nominated for Best Gag Reel are Resistance, Aaron Vanderklay. 359, David Ellis. Next in line, Uderon Infinity. The COVID Conundrum, RB's Toy Box. Best Villain Contenders this year, The Jem'Hadar, Battle of Velsic 2, Samuel Cockings. And still need to work this one out with Galaxy Queen from The Wavelength. The Romulans, Star Trek Sirius, Steve Neal. And the Klingons, Wartag, Potemkin Pictures. Best Supporting, this is our first split category this year. It's for Best Supporting Actor. MTM and I have thought the following are worthy of nomination. Mark G.H. Lum as Dr. Leland Ham, Borg Hunters, Star Trek Fan Productions International. Blake Bryant as Commander Parsons, Mudd's Mission, The Federation Files. Tom Erdman as Lieutenant Commander Agent DeFalco, Next in Line, Uderon Infinity. MJ Johnson as Executive Officer, The Castaway, Potemkin Pictures. Best Supporting Actress slots in as our fifth category. Sarah Johnson as Gina Boyd, 359, David Ellis. Rachel McGann as Ops, Resistance, Aaron Vanderklay. Cassie Martin as Callie, The Castaway, Potemkin Pictures. Alexandra Ivy, Commanders of Starfleet, J. Nord Productions. For Best Editor, David Ellis, 359, from David Ellis. Samuel Cockings, Fallen Heroes, working on his film. Steve Neal and S&G Studio for Star Trek Sirius, Steve Neal. Nick Cook, The One with Wales, Starship Intrepid. Visual effects, I mean, look, it's only fair if Samuel's nominated, but once, since he's so prolific, and there are a few others doing visual effects out there. Good on you, Sam, but I'd love to see the others as well. So, of course, he takes our first nomination there. Power 543 Productions, Battle of Velsec 2, Samuel Cockings. Steve Neal and Matt Boardman, Star Trek Sirius, Steve Neal. Rostislav, and I'm terribly sorry for my poor pronunciation of your name. The Day the Federation Stood Still, FS Film. And of course, Ross Trowbridge, Wartag, Potemkin Pictures. Best Music, Jeff Thomas, Captain Roth's Final Message. Fecto Studios, Harris Film Productions. Matt Milne, Chaos at the Neutral Zone, Samuel Cockings. Nicholas Gardner, Resistance, Aaron Vanderklay. JCR Miller, Wartag, Potemkin Pictures. Best Story, David Ellis, 359, David Ellis. Samuel Cockings, Fallen Heroes, from Samuel Cockings. Now that's being repeated because I have the name of the person that has done this, in this instance the story. So David wrote the story, Samuel wrote the story, but I also have the contact or the production name there as well, so that's why they're repeating. And you'll see it on stuff like Potemkin Pictures, where Potemkin Pictures is listed. Jan Soka Kratky, Soyajul, FS Film, so there's a good example there. And David Eversole, Snowbound, Potemkin Pictures. A new category this year, Best Makeup, Chelsea Ross, Before the Terror, Spacegate Station. Michelle Reynolds, Sophia Hinckley and Chris Hinckley, Mudd's Mission, The Federation Files. Hilda Halatius, Miriam Hall, Laura Johnson, Daniel Rhodes, and the entire cast for Reciprocity, Potemkin Pictures. Dagmar Singer, Silky Persh, and Angie Simon, Starfleet Legends Act 2, Smoking Gun Films. And once again, apologies if I am butchering the pronunciation of your names. I will work on it for the awards show. Another newbie this year, Best Costume, Jerry Powell, Borg Hunter, for the Borg in Borg Hunters, Star Trek Fan Productions International. Romulans, Commanders of Starfleet, J. Nord Productions. The Black Starfleet uniforms in Reciprocity for Potemkin Pictures. And Lower Decks uniforms in The Day the Federation Stood Still at FS Film. A returning category, Best Reimagined Character. David Chang as Captain Harry Kim, Borg Hunters, Star Trek Fan Productions International. David Whitney as Harry Mudd in Mudd's Mission, The Federation Files. Marcus Benowitz, another nomination this year, Marcus, congratulations, as Captain Christopher Pike, Starfleet Legends Act 2, Smoking Gun Films. And Callie Green as Uhura, Escape from Magna Roma, The Federation Files. Now we've modified the award, this next award, from Fan Film Studio of the Year, which Potemkin Pictures took out, to Best Production House. I think it better fits in with our theme. Everything is a best, so why not have the Best Production House as well? The nominees are FS Film, Potemkin Pictures, Power 543 Productions, AV Productions. Best producers for the 2022-2023 season, David Ellis for 359, Samuel Cockings for Fallen Heroes, Aaron Chappell and Aaron Vanderclay for Resistance, Matthew Lee Blackburn and Katie Blackburn for Ultimate Survival, Mr. BNet V Productions. Best Director, Candice Lambert, Escape from Magna Roma, The Federation Files, Samuel Cockings, Fallen Heroes, Aaron Vanderclay, Resistance, Jan Soka-Kratky, The Day the Federation Stood Still, FS Film. Getting into the meaty end of it now, the Best Actor nominees this year are Adam Zamalello as Commander Tyson Zahn, 359 from David Ellis, David Chang as Captain Harry Kim, Borg Hunters from Star Trek Fan Productions International, Marcus Churchill as Ensign Sam Harriman, Fallen Heroes from Samuel Cockings, and Lawrence Fleming as Captain Lecat, Honor Blade, Potemkin Pictures. Best Actress, Emma Thorne as Ensign Laura Reed, Chaos at the Neutral Zone from Samuel Cockings. Victoria Avalon as Captain Sian Gabriel, Prime Directive, Potemkin Pictures. Veronica Horova, Sayajul, FS Film. And Kate Elder as Captain, Resistance, Aaron Vanderclay. And now, our nominees for Best Short Fan Film of the Year. That's the films that are under 10 minutes in duration. Commanders of Starfleet, Janord Productions. Snowbound, Potemkin Pictures. The Icarus Incident, Samuel Cockings. The One with Whales, Starship Intrepid. And the nominees for Best Fan Film for 2022-2023 are Resistance, Aaron Vanderclay. 359, David Ellis. Chaos at the Neutral Zone, Samuel Cockings. The Day the Federation Stood Still, Radek Ballina. And FS Film, of course. There's another one that slipped through on the data set. Radek is the contact for me for FS Film. So congratulations to everyone. Let's look over that impressive list and count the nominations. In total, Potemkin Pictures and Samuel Cockings tie for most number of nominations at 13 each. Aaron Vanderclay next up with 8. David Ellis's breakout hit 359, taking home 7 nominations. FS Film from the Czech Republic with 6, and the Federation Files garnered 5 nominations. Now, the 2023 Trekzone Fan Film Awards are just 1 month away, with 59 eligible films and over 112 nominations to get us to this point. It's the premier event for the Star Trek fan film community to celebrate their incredible work over the past 13 months. We'll then host an after party with the winners and runners-up in a special edition of a Trekzone Conversation, followed by fan film update and sci-fi news before we dive into the science and space with Talkin' Science. We'll also bring you an in-depth interview with the latest science newsmaker. Larry Nemenchek will then beam in for a second live edition of a Trekzone Conversation where we'll deep dive into Strange New Worlds, which begins its 2nd season next week. Don't miss a moment. RSVP to our celebrating 20 years of Trekzone Facebook event. You can see that short code there at the bottom of that graphic, the trek.zone/20 years. We are just 29 days, 23 hours, 44 minutes and 30 seconds away from kicking that off. Very much looking forward to all of that. Welcome to everyone in the chat. I'm obviously not paying attention to you because I am live here, and social media guru Keely is having a well-deserved sleep in after a big week. So not able to interact with you in the chat live, but I will certainly be jumping in there afterwards. The great thing about Trekzone TV is that the live stream doesn't end. We go back to the back catalogue of Trekzone, and I'll jump into the chat. We can hang around there as long as we like, chatting about these nominees and everyone that has been nominated by mentioning Trekkie Mentions and myself in these awards. Now, it's by no means the best list. It's the list that we've come up with that we think is the most deserving. These are our awards, and these are the nominees that we've chosen. Now, just before Mentioning Trekkie Mentions and I dive into selecting the winners, organising print runs and prize packs. A mental note for all fan film producers: help us help you. Chuck and I are already keeping an eye out for new releases, with 2 in the books so far. But please also think about us, as we're just humans manually updating a spreadsheet each time a new release happens. Drop us a line at the Trekzone Facebook page or on Twitter, or send me an email at editor@trekzone.org. Or even check in with Chuck, the Mentioning Trekkie Mentions page as well. You can send a message to either of us. We'll put it in the black book, and we'll make sure that we do consider you for next year. That is, of course, as you release. We will put it into the candidates for the 2024 Trekzone Fan Film Awards. We'll also get it out there in Fan Film Update, which will be returning next week. Now, I can also confirm that next year the criteria used to select eligible fan films for nomination will be expanded to all. That means every Star Trek fan film production released from May 16 this year until May 15, 2024 will be in consideration. Let me say that again. Every Star Trek fan film production released from May 16 this year until May 15, 2024 will be in consideration. So please drop us a line when you release, and we'll get it on the spreadsheet and into Trekzone's Fan Film Update. We are podcasting on YouTube and across every podcast app. Find each of Trekzone's shows on Google or Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Tuned In, and more. Plus, Trekzone's channel in the iTunes library gives you a one-stop shop for all of our goodness. So jump on to your favourite podcast app. Find Trekzone and subscribe. On YouTube, membership continues to be available, early access to our podcasts and behind the scenes for less than a cup of coffee per month. And of course, our social media feeds always have the week's podcast highlights and Star Trek episodes. This is our 20th year to the world. Our gala live stream event on July 10 from 7:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. It's this exact same time in a month. We are Trekzone. I am Matt Miller. I'm going to jump into the YouTube chat right now and then clip up this and put it on our socials. Like I say, the social media feeds having the week's podcast highlights. This is one of the podcasts. We've been going boldly since 2003. Very, very excited for this in the home stretch now for the 2023 Trekzone Fan Film Awards. Bye for now.